Hey, welcome to You Build Creative. Today I'm going to show you how to build a simple YouTuber studio desk.
So look, the issue here is that I got my MacBook on this stupid stool because I didn't have enough room on my desk because I use 32-inch curved monitors, okay? I've got, that's a sound card. These are all my cables for my microphones. I need to simplify my whole setup, first of all. And if you look over here, okay, I don't know if you can see that. See if you can pump up that. Right there, all hard drives. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 hard drives because I use such big video files. I gotta figure out how to mitigate that because that's way too much. So if we come back to here, 2 monitors, 32-inch curved screens, which I put my light on top, so we get to come up with a solution so that it's not resting on the monitors. Then I have this old TV I've had for years and years and years as my third monitor. And then again, my MacBook here. I would love to have my MacBook in its dock here, so the whole tabletop is clean and all I have is maybe my interface, and like that's it. But I have my camera on the back. It'll be on the back post with my lights and my microphone. I will likely continue keeping my microphone here because that's how I do my podcast, but most people don't do what I'm doing there. So we're gonna teach you how to do both ways and we're gonna test both kinds of mics. Very excited.
think I'm
All right, so Mark's gonna go. What are you doing here, Mark? Crunch down.
So I'm basically gonna build a little platform for this speaker, but it's gonna be elevated.
Yeah.
Right. So
Mark's gonna build all these hard drives you see up here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me go here. So all these hard drives. There's so many hard drives I have. Mark's gonna build a cabinet below where they're gonna fit in, open to the back, so we can manage cable management up to my what's it called, my dock. So that's how we're gonna do that. The other idea Mark had was either to do maybe one massive tray, or would that be too heavy?
That'd be too heavy. Yeah.
So the idea was to put either, or you could continue the shelf. It's like a square or like a rectangle shelf, and then your tray is connected to the shelf here and here. So that can just put stuff in that shelf.
Yeah, I think.
But the other thing is too, is Mark has to put my speaker up about 4 inches because my tweeter has to be at the same level as my ear, or about middle to my ear. So, and pointed at me so we're triangulated properly. pocket jig. He's pocket jigged into this crate. It was hard to get into, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it means it's solidly in. He's got this, he's built this box that when I'm sitting here, the TV will be there. And so when I'm sitting here, this has to point directly at my ears. So probably more like this. So Mark's gonna point it right at me.
Right, like that.
That's perfect. Yep.
So
here's the cool thing too. When you're doing speakers, okay, especially mine are Yamaha HS8s, okay? These are really, really nice studio speakers. One of the most important things about having a good studio speaker is having at least a foot or more behind the speaker. That allows the bass and stuff to go back and absorb and not bounce. So if you put a speaker right up against a wall, it's not ideal. What we're doing right now is ideal. Tons of space behind the speaker, pointing directly at me at ear height between the tweeter and the sub at my ear. And so Mark's got that, it's perfect. And even that monitor could go back even further if we wanted it to.
yeah, that monitor can go back.
Because now we're gonna put the clamp here with the bar.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's perfect. That's a really good.
That's perfect. So the reason you do pocket jig stuff, Mark, is because you can take that out now and just pop it right back in when you're
Yeah,
done.
100%.
Because this will be a pain in the dick to move this thing if I do move, and I will.
For sure.
So that's what Mark had in his head. Isn't that cool? I didn't know it was in his head. This is what I love about Mark. When he finishes what he's got in his head, this is really cool. This is really cool what he's done here. It's simple to make, very, very clean, and it'll look amazing. It'll finalize itself. See what he's got going in there? That's cool. See? That pocket jig is brilliant because he can now come back over. Mark, though, if you drill back into wood, does it make it weaker?
Not into the holes I did. I'll sink the screws a little bit further.
The way I set the height of this speaker is Josh is sitting in the chair. I went up beside Josh, held my tape measure up.
Hold on, let me do this.
Held my tape measure up and measured to the center of his ear, which is 46 and a half. And if you, so you'll see
46 and a half right to the tweeter.
So we're right to the tweeter. So his ear is right there. So
right here is where you don't need to worry about the bass so much because bass is omnidirectional, right? Bass is all over. High-end tweeter, like the mid-range, that's directional. So I want that to hit my ear perfectly so that I'm getting like perfect sound. Now the issue is that my center spot needs to be the same distance away from that one as it is from that one as it is from the wall, which is almost perfect right now. Like this is the best I've ever seen. attention to detail stuff that I'm not really good at, Mark makes your life easier. So before I just did whatever it took to get things done so I can get working. But taking the time to do these types of really, really nice things makes your life so much easier and makes your workplace cleaner and better.
There's like no margin for.
So Mark's gonna use the galvanized strapping to just make sure it double up, but just one around it because, you know. Boom. So we're just raising up my TV because I use this TV here for like a lot. Like sometimes you watch me do my vlogs and I'm looking up. I have many monitors going because I have so many programs going at once, sometimes editing. This is where I put my browser if I'm watching videos. I tend to look up here. It's more relaxing too when I'm doing that. So I've got these are Wi-Fi plugs. We'll put a couple in here. Bob's gonna put the one in here because I'm gonna connect my Alexa to this, and I'm gonna say, my Alexa, turn on the studio lights, and she'll know to turn on the top light up here. So we're gonna figure out that solution at the back. We got our post here. The idea is to mount this on the post. We're gonna mount a camera. We're gonna try to figure out how to jimmy rig mounting a camera to this. A phone one maybe on a different gimbal arm, and then a light is probably gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be on top or I'm gonna attach it to one of these. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the light yet. I might continue to keep the lights on top of my monitor. I don't know. The light doesn't really move very much, so this I like the idea of having for a microphone, because you can clamp these guys, these cheap old boom arms. You can clamp these boom arms to the edges of this, and you have even more room to put more arms on. Meaning you could put a cell phone mount on there if you want to film with your, because we're going to show you how to film what it looks like when you film with a cheap camera, a really good phone, and a webcam. And I'm going to show you what it looks like, because lighting is really one of the most important things to good video. So this webcam I use for when I do interviews. So if I do a Zoom interview, I use this as the camera that I'm talking to them with, and it's like overblown. It's just a piece of crap. It's not a bad little camera, but I'm using a ton of light, so it looks like I'm super white. But it's fine for when I'm talking to people. They can see me, I can see them, and I use this to interact. And then I use my camera here to record it on my side, and I get my interviewers, I get the people that I'm interviewing to record on their side as well. So we're here in the center. We've got a ball head here, which I'll link below, made by Cameron, Neweer makes these things. It's a pretty heavy duty ball, okay? If you look at that, it's a pretty heavy duty ball. It can hold a lot of weight, and it can hold my Sony a7R III easily. It can hold any camera, basically. So I'm gonna put my ball head on here, and the beautiful thing about a ball head is that it can move in any direction, any way. Boom, see, so it doesn't even matter which way it goes on there. And now I can move this around wherever I want, right? Put that there, put the thing on the side. And then when I mount my camera, now I've got an issue. That is way too high. If I'm sitting here, that's gonna look down, which might not be a bad thing. Some people like the higher angle. It does, especially for people like me who are a little bit larger in the face area and fatness. Elevated camera angles make you look thinner because you're holding your chin out. So that's just a kind of a thing a lot of people will do to, you know, give yourself the angle that makes you look best, which I'm totally cool with. So I'm gonna try this angle a little bit and see what I like, but I'm generally have it way lower. I'll show you what I do. This has been the solution so far, okay, is this guy, which sits right here, which I'm adding about 4 inches. So this might be fine. This is what I've been using for a little bit more of an elevation. I don't know if I was looking for about 4 inches, but that's fine. What I'm gonna do with this, once I find the other ball head that's floating around, is I'm gonna mount it on this arm here, so that I can put this wherever I want it, right under the lens if I want, move this around. This is just my webcam solution. This is an extra mic, so what I might do is use this as a backup in case my other one fails, or if I have someone sitting at the desk with me. It's always nice to have this, but this is the solution I want most of you people to have. Not what I'm doing with the mic in front, unless you like that. This allows you to have really great audio and be free and have your desk clear, especially if you're doing unboxing videos and stuff like that. So because Macs aren't really, for some reason you have to download third-party software to keep it so that when you close the lid it still works. And mine does not interact with my stinking hub, my dock. So it's just not conducive to good workflow, but I keep mine open on this side anyway because it's an extra monitor just in case I need it anyway. So I kind of like that Mark built this little shelf here for it, which is really sweet. So now we're gonna keep going with cable management. So I'm gonna throw this in here, in there, which then gets connected to this dock here. Then all my cables from my monitors and that TV up there are gonna come down through here underneath. So it's just, everything's hidden and nice, looks beautiful. So the beautiful thing about this is this power management is so crazy. I don't have to run power bars down here on my feet. I have all the leg room I need back here, which is amazing. So I'm so happy with that. So custom. He's built me a little shelf for my interface. So here's the, tip of the week if you don't know anything. Output. Okay, then you got your female, your male. So this now is my clean boost, right? And I'm gonna give it, I don't need to give it phantom power, so I turn that off, and I'm gonna put this in here. See, that's too long, right? But it's okay, it's no biggie. Okay, so pop that on there. Boom. Here. Lock it. Turn this where it needs to go. And then, ooh, wait. Uh-oh. Can I turn that more? There we go. So there you go. And now I just have to do it this way, which is perfect, okay? Got my other 5-footer. These can be expensive. Just find cheap XLRs. If you're always stationary, you're not moving a lot, you really don't need long, super expensive, although shielded cables do work better if you're using, especially into your monitors. This is fine. I'm going cheap on my cables because I don't really need to worry about it. I don't think it's gonna make a big difference. If you're hearing noise or fuzz or whatever, often it's because you have cheap cables. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So I run that up here. So there we go. Now I can run my cables up through here and keep it tight down through here, right? I don't want a ton of cable flashing down here. So I just need it to be able to move, and that's all I need. That saves me a lot of room. Boom. Clean. Look at this amazing desk. Walk me through what we did here.
So we bought a desk from a computer store, or just a table from a computer store that had like a fake maple countertop on it. And I purchased a 72 by 40 piece of bamboo butcher block. And there was 4 pieces of 1 by 10 pine, I believe it is. Yeah,
3 pieces.
Oh yeah, 3 pieces of 1 by 10 and 1 piece of 1 by 12.
So yeah, Mark built the shelf, so the 1 by 10 pine, which was just rough pine, relatively inexpensive.
Yep.
He built these stands and then an elevated 4-inch platform because he took a measurement of my ear about here where I'm sitting in my chair so that it points. And then he angled it so where I'm sitting here, Mark, pull up the chair. Sit down and have a seat at the studio. So he measured it so wherever I'd sit, right? This tweeter, right in the middle, is perfectly centered with his ears. Well, my ears. Mark's a little taller than I am. And so when he's sitting there, everything is perfect where it needs to be.
I can do one of those.
There you go. So now it hits my ears perfectly. Part of doing really good vlogging, I think, and really good video editing is the sound of everything, right? And so having your speakers right where they need to be is really important. What else did you do, Mark?
I set up these little shelf build-outs. This one's for the audio, is that
Yeah,
what that
mixer.
one is? Yeah, it's the audio mixer, and then the other one for the laptop. Everything's run through this here, so just
Yeah, and
nice.
then nice little shelves, units. I put my hard drives and USB interfaces and things in there.
Yeah.
And then on this side, Mark put, I don't know if you can see that. I'll get rid of my Vaseline here. Mark put a shelf for all my hard drive space. So they're hidden and it's open so the heat can dissipate as well, right? And again, another lifted platform. And then he put on the back, which you saw, which was the plug-in bar, the plug bar.
Plug bar, and the last piece we did was this pull-out tray for the keyboard, and that's about it.
Looks amazing, holy smokes. So again, this is more of a tutorial on how to build something like this. You're not gonna build the same thing because you don't have the same components. But what Mark did was created a space for 2 big monitors. Not everybody's gonna have 32-inch monitors either. Those are huge, right? And they're curved. My light sits on top still. But Mark had an idea, is he said, why don't you get 2-sided tape and tape it to the bezel of the TV or on the top of the TV right there. Then you would have some light. So you turn the light on, there you go. So that's all the light I need when I do my vlogging. This giant light bulb and these lights here all hit me when I'm sitting. So have a seat, Mark. I'm gonna show them something cool. So when I'm vlogging, if you pull up, when I'm vlogging, the light that is here is hitting my shoulders here. So it's giving me a glow. So you can see on that, I don't know if you can see that. See the shoulders? That's what the light is doing above me. The light behind and above is just as important as the light here that's hitting me. And the reason I use so much light is so when I'm changing my camera settings, I want to use a low ISO and a double shutter speed as opposed to the frame rate, right? So I want to make sure I can use the best settings so I get no noise in my video. We set up this post, this dual monitor post, okay? Which you don't even need actually. We realized that you do need a thicker post like that to mount a heavier camera like I have here. But Mark and I decided you don't even need that. All you have to do is buy some of these cheap articulating mic arms like this, where I have my Rode on there, and you can put smaller cameras on them. On this side I have my webcam, which I use for Zoom calls, and I can actually put a phone on there if I want. So you actually really only need a couple of things, and the light you could either put on the wall or you could put on another stand. That looks sick. Incredible. So I'm going to do a video on different components to use in this type of setup. So different cameras, GoPro, phone, cheap camera, M50, and a Sony a7R III, and a webcam. And I'm going to show you what you can do. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to use different microphones too. The SM7B is my baby. You guys all know that, but I'm going to try different microphones. An a 57 I'm going to try a Beta 58, a 58, and I'm going to see what it looks like to use like just a Rode shotgun mic, because this setup is more conducive to what people want to do, not pulling out the giant microphone in front of you. So this setup is basically what most commentators and vloggers should be using. What a great setup. Look at these guys. And you have to have your superheroes. Mark, amazing job, dude.
Okay, thanks.
Super custom. Whew.